Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Medical Qigong practice. Since it's Saturday, we have two elements today's practice. We have the regular practice for about 30 minutes, and then afterwards for about 15 minutes, we go over more instructional information. So let's go ahead and start out with our warm-ups. Opening up. I'm going to try to mirror you. Our feet are parallel so that the front of the body and the back of the body can be evenly open. We're settling into the space. The tip of the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth. We're inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And then we're going to start twisting at the waist, placing our hands into loose fists so that they can create a little vibration as they come into contact with the body. We're warming up the back, warming up the hips. If you can, relaxing the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists. And then gradually we're going to start working our way up the front of the body towards the shoulder. And then traveling back down the body. Taking away some of that momentum, releasing the hands, and coming back to the center. We're going to widen our stance to open up the channels in the legs and the lower half of the body, tapping the inner thigh and then up at the hip. Transitioning, starting from the hip, working our way down the interior aspect of the legs towards just above the ankle. Before then traveling to the lateral aspect of the legs. Coming back on up towards the hips and the glutes. Once you reach the hips and the glutes, sliding that left foot a little closer to the right, maintaining the hip width, shoulder width distance. Coming on up to just underneath the rib cage, waking up those kidneys, waking up that kidney energy. Placing the palms at the back, circling down the sides and up the spine. You're warming the kidneys, warming those tissues in the low back. Helping them get ready for the morning and the practice. Resting the palms at the low back. Closing the eyes. And inhaling through the nose, guiding the breath and the chi to the low back, allowing it to fill up with energy. Exhaling, allowing that energy to flow to wherever it's needed within the body. Inhaling, using the mind's eye, the mind intent, to guide the breath and the chi to the low back, meeting with the palms. And exhaling, allowing that energy to flow freely to wherever it's needed. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. allowing the mind to relax into the breath, allowing the breath to help relax the body, and allowing the chi to flow freely to wherever it's needed. And then when you're ready, gently opening the eyes, letting the arms come back down to the sides and closing by bringing that left foot back to the right. Okay, our Golden 8 series. Opening up, reach for happiness for the lung and large intestine channels. We're inhaling as we gather, exhaling, guiding down, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, in and out. Continuing on, allowing the breath to generate the movement. And getting ready to close, closing. Getting ready for our second exercise for the heart and small intestine, the Archer exercise. Inhaling, exhaling. In and out. Allowing the mind to focus in on the exercise, letting the other thoughts go. Letting the breath and the movement harmonize, working together. And getting ready to close. Closing. Our third exercise between heaven and earth for the spleen and stomach channels. Opening. Inhaling. And exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. And exhaling. Continuing on, enjoying the process of the exercise, the journey of the exercise. Getting ready to close. Closing. Our fourth exercise for the San Jiao system. Opening, turn and look back. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Continuing on, allowing the breath to instigate the winding motion. And allowing the mind to stay with the breath and with the body. Getting ready to close. And closing our sixth exercise for the liver and gallbladder. Twist and release. Opening. Inhaling. And exhaling. In. And out. And getting ready to close. Closing. Our sixth exercise, bend for health for the urinary bladder and kidney, or kidney and urinary bladder. Opening. Inhaling as we gather. Exhaling completely as we communicate with the kidneys. Inhaling. And exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. Exhaling. And inhaling back to standing. Getting ready to close. Closing. Our energy punch exercise for the Ren channel, the conception vessel, opening up. Inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. Getting ready to close. Closing. That was energy punch. Now we're doing energy jump for the dew channel, the governing vessel. Opening up. Part 1, inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. Part 2, inhaling as the arms come up, exhaling, coming back. And taking away the momentum. Closing. Keeping the feet together. I'm going to come closer for our facial rejuvenation exercises. Bringing the palms together. Transferring some of that wonderful chi that we've been cultivating over the past half hour to the palms. And then washing the face 9 times. Wiping the brow and under the eye 9 times. And then up and down the entirety of the nose 9 times. Circles, lower aspect, middle aspect, upper aspect, inward 9 times, outward 9 times. Underneath the eyes, at the cheekbone, inward 9 times, outward 9 times. Taking all 5, 10 fingertips, however many fingertips, dredging the channels of the scalp 9 times. Beating the drum 9 times. Grasping the upper ear with all 5 fingertips. Grasping the bottom ear, bottom of the ear with all 5 fingertips, gently pulling 9 times. And then switching. Popping the cork 9 times. Placing one fingertip on the philtrum, the other on the mandibular crease, inward 9 and then outward 9 times. Massaging the jaw 9 times each side. Our number now changes to 12 times total, or 6 times each side, brushing down the throat. And then down the breastbone, 12 times total, or 6 times each side. Placing the palms at the lower dantian. I'm not going to mirror you here. We're traveling up the right and down the left, gathering all that wonderful qi that we've been cultivating this morning into the lower dantian, circling 9 times. Then switching directions, concentrating that energy now into the lower dantian. Resting the palms at the lower dantian, closing the eyes. Inhaling through the nose, guiding the breath and the qi to the lower dantian, allowing it to fill up with energy. And exhaling, letting that energy settle and store so that we may use it throughout the rest of our day. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the qi in the lower dantian, allowing it to fill up. Exhaling, allowing that qi to settle and store. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Allowing the mind to relax, the body to relax, and allowing the qi to settle. Thank you all so very, very much for joining me on Saturday morning practice. My name is Mary Frances. I'm one of Bonjour Mommy's students. If you like, please stick around for the next 15 minutes while we go over some more instructional aspects of medical Qigong. So before we practice more in the medical Qigong, I'm gonna do a quick Chinese medical anatomy lesson. It's very basic, but I think it'll be helpful for what we're going to be discussing today, which is a type of circular breath meditation. So please bear with me. I have some props. Penelope is my first prop. Now, we've talked a lot about yin and yang channels, as well as the ren and the du channels. The ren meaning the conception vessel. I feel more comfortable saying ren, and the du channel, or the governing vessel channel, and I once again feel more comfortable saying du. So if I say ren more often or du more often, that's why. So we have Penelope here. She is our otter. And the reason why I brought her out here today is because it's fairly easy to see the difference between the yin channels and the yang channels. Please understand that I'm going to be generalizing a lot in the next 15 minutes in this lesson. But do you see how she's curving inward to protect her yin organs or yin channels? And her defensive channels are here on the outside of the back. So typically, unless we're trained and someone comes at us with something, we curl over and we show them our back because they are our strongest muscles. So this is considered more yang, and the inside is considered more yin. I'm generalizing because the yang ming channel, the stomach channel, does run in front of the body, but we're not going to talk too much about that. So if you imagine the sunlight, many times when we're talking about yin versus yang or yang versus yin, we have a picture of a mountain. Think of Henry's beautiful, beautiful videos, and you see the sunlight hitting the side of the mountain and then the shadows on the other side. So we've got the yang channels here on the outside, quote unquote, of the body, or this exterior posterior aspect of the body. That's where the sunlight is hitting the mountain. And then the shadows, the cooler aspects, are on the interior aspect and the anterior aspect of the body. So this is the yin side. And then furthermore, we've got the outside of the legs being more yang, the inside of the legs being more yin, outside of the arms being more yang, inside of the arms being more yin. The du channel roughly goes along the vertebra into the brain and then down over the face towards just underneath the nose, whereas the yin channel roughly comes up the anterior midline of the body to just at the chin. Remember, I'm generalizing a lot. So the first part of the exercise, we're going to talk about inhaling down to the lower dantian. Now the lower dantian, as we discussed before, is about 3 to 4 finger breaths beneath the belly button. It's not a hard line, so it's best if you kind of discover it on your own. But it's somewhere between 3 to 4 finger breaths beneath the belly button on the midline of the body. That's the ren channel. Then we're going to be talking about exhaling down to the perineum. Now, I never, ever, ever thought that I'd be saying perineum. Bye, Christina. I never thought I'd be saying perineum on YouTube. But it's important because it deals with the ren channel and the du channel and harmonizing and connecting the front of the body, the anterior of the body, and the back of the body, the posterior of the body. So we have this picture. Hopefully it helps. We've got the perineum, which is between the anus and the genitals, and that's ren 1. So that's about here. And then we've got du 1 on the midline between the tip of the coccyx and the anus. So that's du 1. Now, theoretically, many people believe that the ren channel and the du channel are actually the same channel. And in Qigong, we're really trying to unite these two channels to create one loop, okay? Many people think that they both start in the lower abdomen. Okay, so now we know where the perineum is. Then, so we've inhaled down to the lower dantian. We've exhaled to the perineum. We're now going to inhale up to the big spine point. The big spine point is roughly T1. Okay, so we've got do 14, which is just below the 7th cervical vertebra, and we've got do 13. These are points along the do channel, just underneath the first thoracic vertebra. You can find this on yourself by skimming your fingers from the occiput down the neck. And then once you feel a big spine point, checking by looking up. Now, if that spine point disappears, that's probably C6 or C7, cervical vertebra 6 or 7. You want to continue on. And then if it doesn't disappear, you've probably gotten to about C7. Then you check by turning your head from side to side. If that vertebra turns, that's C7. That's part of the cervical vertebra. If you keep going, you're going to find T1. It does not move when you turn your head from side to side. So basically what we're trying to do is find that big spine point. Now, this big spine point is wonderful because do 14 and loosely do 13 also, all of the yang channels flow into that one point. Okay, so we've inhaled to the lower dantian, exhaled to the perineum, inhaled up to the big spine point, and then we're going to exhale into Lao Gong. Lao Gong is PC8, and it is roughly, if you take your hands and place them in loose fists, between the second and third metacarpal, okay? Actually, the PC finger, the middle finger, when you turn it in, you're going to end up feeling a little divot between the second and the third bones here, okay? So that's Lao Gong. And Lao Gong is a great point because it deals with the spirit, it deals with the pericardium, which protects the heart. And if you think about it, we examine a lot of the world with our hands. And I think one of the reasons why in this breathing practice we exhale to the palms is because we're also trying to generate some of that energy into the palms where it's typically easiest felt. Okay, so we've had our anatomy lesson. Let's go ahead with the practice. Okay, so we're going to open up, hip width, shoulder width apart. We're going to settle into the space. If you like, you can close the eyes. The tip of the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth, connecting the do channel from the back and the rin channel in the front. If you like, allow a little bit of space between the arms and the torso so that the chi may move freely. And then using the mind's eye, the mind intent, we're going to inhale down to the lower dantian. We're going to exhale down to the perineum. Inhaling up to the big spine point. And then exhale to the palms. Inhaling once again through the nose, down to the lower dantian. Exhaling down to the perineum. Inhaling up to the big spine point. And then exhaling to the palms. Inhaling, lower dantian. Exhaling, perineum. Inhaling up to the big spine point. Exhaling to the palms. At your own pace, allow the breath to flow through the body, circulating down the front of the body to the lowest point of the torso, flowing then up through the spine to the big spine point, and then down to the palms. Relaxing into the breath. Allowing the breath to relax the body. And the mind to relax into the breath. And then when you're ready, if your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them. Bringing that left foot back to the right and placing the palms at the lower dantian. Taking a few breaths here. Allowing the chi to settle within the lower dantian. And then when you're ready, opening your eyes. Okay, I'm going to take 2 extra minutes to explain just a couple of other things, and then we're going to turn it over to questions and hopefully some answers. So the first thing I wanted to go over is one question we might have is, why don't we breathe all the way up to the top of the head? You could. This exercise, because all of the yang channels meet at dew 14, it's not necessary, because also the dew channel does go all the way up onto the head, into the brain on its own. Another question might be, well, where are the channels in the legs? Well, the lower dantian is an area where all 6 yin channels of the legs flow into. So we're making a connection there. And then why is it nice to practice this exercise? It's nice because we're creating that circuit. The yin channel is also known, I believe, as the Sea of Yin, and the dew channel, the Sea of Yang. And these channels, especially with the yin channel, connects all of the organ systems. or many of the organ systems along it. And so you're helping harmonize the body by creating this loop.